Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining me once again in Motortown Behind the Wheel. Today, we're going to get into some hot business. We're going to do a recovery, but we got to do some things before we can start our recovery. So we're going to go head on over and get us a fire truck. Now you might be asking, why you need a fire truck? Well, the recovery that we're going to be doing is on fire, so currently we're going to have to go put out the fire ourselves. That's exactly what we plan to do. So we'll come on over here. Got us a nice little fire truck right here. Smooth operator. All right, let's go ahead and get our bed down. We're gonna go ahead and hop in the fire truck. So many fires. This is the one we're going to. And currently, this is the only fire truck they have. So if we don't use this rickety, tippy Brutus, we're gonna have to use fire extinguishers. And maybe the fire extinguishers might work on the vehicle. Doubt it though. Doubt it. They're gonna put out a full truck. A car, yeah, might take 2 or 3, but definitely not putting out an entire truck. So we're grabbing a fire truck. This is the nearest location for where we gotta go. So we'll go ahead and shut this down. We gonna strap it down. You might say, why don't you just drive the fire truck out there and put out the fire? Y'all see, if y'all have not seen the video where my own Brutus showed why I don't particularly care for the Brutus, yeah, I'm not trying to tip over. Sheesh. Alright, so now we're gonna go ahead and hop in. We're gonna head down to this location. We have a burning Atlas. Burning Atlas tanker at that. So let's boogie on down there. Now, if y'all remember, I started over, I wiped everything. So, thanks to playing online, I managed to get my rank up and everything. But, as you can see, there are lots of fires. And thankfully, when they did the update, they added a hose to the fire truck because doing it from the fire truck took so long. I did not find it worth it at all. It's like, oh, you make 60 grand. It's like, yeah, but you're spending a literal 20 minutes to half an hour depending on the size of the fire. It was not worth it to me, especially when I could drive from Dasa Harbor all the way in the south, drive all the way up here, and make a total of 200 something thousand in that same amount of time. Actually, less. But now that you got the hose makes it so much faster. So much faster. Unfortunately, I do still have the settings set for when I played online. And those are at a lower setting than I normally play at. I normally play at 120 FPS and have everything turned up so you can see everything in nice long distance. But you can see everything's popping in slowly because I had to reduce the distance and everything for the online server. Alrighty then, we are pulling up on the scene. Let's get a good look over there. And it is definitely burning. Now, the hose is on the driver's side. So what we'll do is, I don't want to pull too close and get my vehicle burned. One way to know if you're too close is if you stop your vehicle and the heat starts going up. If you look right down here, if your temperature starts going up, you're too close. All right, I don't need my truck running. Look at that fire, y'all. It is burning. Sheesh. And it's a tanker. So let's go ahead and we will pop open the door, grab our hose. Now, I like to firefight using the hose from the first person. It just makes it a lot easier to see where the water is going. It's so much faster to make it accurate. So press up to get our water cannon on. You also get paid for putting out the fire and being the first one there. So even if the truck is burned down 100%, the amount you're going to get for putting out the fire way surpasses what you would have gotten at 100%. The hose, as you can see, the water line goes a little above where you're actually looking with your crosshair. Yeah, just get that steam in there. Get that steam in there. Yeah, steam is good. That means water and fire are saying hello to one another. Hopefully we have some working tires on this thing. If y'all ever see the vehicle fire, not having tires can be a pain. But then again, I'm going to put on the flatbed, so I'm not particularly worried about it. This is one of the reasons why I grabbed the flatbed instead of the wrecker. Should I specify the rotator? Because the rotator, it'll pull it, no problem. It'll turn it over. But what it won't do is a great job if this thing's got flat tires on it. Because you're going to drag it, you're going to damage it. If it happens to not be at 100%, there's been a couple where I got them and they weren't at 100% damage. Sometimes it is tricky to hit all the fire. So I like to come up top and spray the top of the vehicle, or in this case the side, on the roof. This way here I can actually see a lot better what's going on top. We're just going to hose down the top here. Make sure we get all that fire out. Now if you keep hosing it down, and for some reason your fire's not going out, you may have to do something risky, like turn it over. Or sometimes if you just hit it with enough water, it'll go out. So we just got 37 grand just for putting out the fire of the vehicle. So it's definitely worth it. And even on the public one, a lot of guys will do the towing, but they won't tow anything on fire. So I'll go around and just put out the fire and just get paid. Cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. So it's definitely something good to do if you're low level and you're trying to get your level up. Put out fires, make some money. Now, since I don't need the fire truck anymore, I can leave the sucker down here. And there's a limit to the amount of water that you can put in the fire truck. When you use it, it does go down. When that happens, you're going to want to pop this open, toggle the door, and there's a pump in here. You're going to need to find yourself a fire hydrant. Or you can just get a whole new vehicle. All right, now we could do our recovery since we got this thing over there. Get that off the ground there. It's not in a prime location, to be honest with you. Rolling it over means I gotta be on the other side. So I'm gonna see if I can pull it away from those trees there. So I have some room over there to pull it over. I honestly don't think this thing has enough to pull this entire truck, but it might. Surprise me. Heck yeah. And this is the 8-ton winch. There's a couple ways you can go about pulling it over. One would be pulling from low to high. So I have my winch on the low side. And I attach to a higher side. This way there it pulls down on the vehicle. So that way there, the bottom there will bite in and help it stand up. I'll find the center of these is going to be a pain, but we'll figure it out. Let's try here first, because we got the engine, which is the most weight. We also have a tanker on here, so it might not going to be dead center, but we need to figure out where it is. Dang, easy money. Now, generally, I always prefer to tow vehicles from the rear. But luckily, we got the flatbed, so we don't have to. Look how low that thing is to the ground. Let's see. And it's got punctured tires. Front one, that one, that one. This one's still inflated, that one. So 5 of the 6 tires are inflated, and this isn't even a drive wheel. That's a lift axle. Sheesh. All right, so we're going to load this up. We're going to load it up forward. That way there we have the weight of the engine closer to the front of our vehicle, so it's not lifting our steering tires off the ground. Normally I would try and drag it back to the road. Hook her down there. Go ahead and grab our winch here. Or stick it on here. We're going to come over here. I'm going to grab a controller for it. We're going to hop in this steaming hot car. Take off the brake. We're going to pull it in and hopefully get it on in one. All right, we're going to put the brake on. We're also going to drop the lift axle. Want as much friction as possible with it in contact with our bed. Next, we're going to strap her down. Definitely off-centered, but that's all right. Ooh, look at that heavy sucker. Put our lights on since this thing is hanging over the back end. We got good response from the steering tires, so it's good. We got an 8.5 mile trek ahead of us. And they got us here safely. W autopilot. And it only added 1% of damage. That is not normal. Let's go ahead and drop this off here so we can get paid. Yeah, one daggone good tire. That is. Please don't tumble off of there. We don't want that. We don't want that. We just want you to get all fixed up pretty. Slow it down a little bit. Touchdown. As the weight shifts, slide it all the way back. And we're going to lift up. Get our front wheels on the ground. That looks pretty good. Now, as you can see, this thing is going to scrape. I mean, if you look, that thing's damn near already on the ground anyway. So, what I'm going to do to prevent that, I'll just have old Brutus here give a wee bit of a lift on the rear. I'll get my winch here. I'm going to lift up the back of this. Bam. I will take that. We got 12 for delivering. And we made 37,000 off of putting out the fire. That's damn near 50,000. Those are the ones y'all want to chase after. Put out the fire, do a delivery, and you get paid for real. Get this out the way. And that is all for this one. Appreciate y'all watching. You got any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments.
That's it for this one, folks. Thank you all for watching. If you would hit that like, and if you'd like to know the next time I drop a video, consider subscribing and turning on your notifications. Until next time, have a good day, have a good week, have a good month, have a good year, live a good life. And let's remember to be better people today than we were yesterday. Bye!